Faithful. Okay, perfect. And when we talk about the being faithful series, what we're talking about is really the fact that God has entrusted us, okay? And that we're called to be stewards. And we're called to manage the things He's given us. So God has given us all of these things, and He really does care what we do with them. And we talked about, what it actually means to be a steward. So in the first week, we discussed stewardship. Someone who has been trusted to manage or look after someone else's things. We talked about this is the way that we should be viewing our life. The fact that everything that we have, whether it be some of the things that we already talked about, I spoke about the tithe, our money. Our money was something that was given to us from God. And He has a plan for it. Now, we have our plans for our money, but we need to really realize, does it match up with God's plan for our money? We talked about having a plan to give strategically. We talked about giving sacrificially. We act the fact that with the way that we deal with our money and the fact that we're tithing, we're giving a portion of it back to God, that's an act of faith. And it tells a lot about the way that we view our relationship with God. Last week, Mark talked about time. He talked about redeeming our time. We talked about the fact that we need to use our schedule to our advantage. Actually, and that's a typo. We do not schedule the less important things. We need to schedule the more important things. And most importantly, we schedule our time with God. And I was talking to Mark, and he said that last week was kind of a low attendance week. And I know that I was out last week as well because my entire family was sick. And I know in the early church, they shared everything. But I figured that was probably something that you guys wanted my family to keep to themselves. So we did not come so we could be contagious for all of you guys. But my question is, when we miss, do we watch it online? Because we have a great YouTube channel for Holy Transfiguration Church. It's a great opportunity that if you are not here physically on Sunday, it does not mean that we do not have the opportunity to watch it later. Myself, that's what I did, and I think that that's a great blessing. And now, if you were not here last week and you did watch it online, you probably totally freaked out the same way I did, because this wasn't here before. Now, for you guys that might have been here last week, this is new to me, and it totally freaked, and it lights up. Did that just light up? So when I logged on, that was a nice surprise. So today, I want to talk about being faithful in a topic that's actually really, really close to my heart. And I believe the chances are it's close to our congregation's heart in general. For some of us, it might even be what brought us to this church. And when we talk about being faithful in this, I believe that this might be the most precious thing that God has trusted us with. Out of all of the things that we're stewarding, I think this is the one where Christ says, this might be it. Now, if you have a Bible, open it. If you have it on your phone, you might want to follow along on your phone. But we're going to go to 2 Kings 11. Actually, I forgot to put it up there. I will read it for you. So in 2 Kings 11, it says, and I apologize, this is a passage that has a lot of names. And if there's one thing I am not good at, it's going through the names in the Old Testament. So I'm going to butcher them. So that's my legal disclaimer. And just try to follow along with me. When Athaliah, the mother of Azariah, saw that her son was dead, she arose and destroyed all the royal heirs. But Bathsheba, the daughter of King Joram, the sister of Azariah, took Joash, the son of Azariah, and stole him away from among the king's sons who were being murdered. And they hid him and his nurse in the bedroom from Athaliah, so that he was not killed. So he was with her in the house of the Lord for 6 years, while Athaliah reigned over the land. And then if you continue to read the story of Joash in the 7th year was brought into the temple. They brought him out of hiding. He became the king of Israel. And they said that this boy was a great king. And it said that he he was righteous in the eyes of God. He was different than his dad, who was a wicked king. And he brought, they said because of him, he brought on 40 years of some of the most prosperous and powerful times that the nation of Israel had. Now, I'm going to tell you, when you read that passage, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in that passage. But I believe that there's also something beautiful that's hidden in there as well. I believe it's a job description for every single parent. Every single one of us, there's something for us in this story. So like I said, it's kind of a crazy story. It's only 11 verses. There's a lot of names in there, and you can kind of get confused. So I'm going to give you the quick breakdown. There was a grandmother, okay? And this grandmother had a son. And the son was king of Israel. So what happened was her son died. And when her son died, the throne of Israel was kind of up for grabs. Well, not really, because he had all of these kids. So it should have gone to one of the kids. So what this guy's mom did is she basically said that I'm going to kill all of my grandsons. It's a little bit crazy, right? So you have a grandmother who basically says, my eyes are on the throne. I'm going to kill all of my grandsons. And she was pretty successful. But the problem is, all of them was slaughtered except one. One was not slaughtered, and that was Joash. And why wasn't he slaughtered? If anybody was paying attention, was kind of following. Did anyone pick up why this son wasn't slaughtered? She hid him. He was hidden. So they saw that there was